They asked me to do a season 2, and they offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money. And so 8 months of my time, essentially, and to do it for half the amount. I'm like, I'm sorry.
A huge rebellion is brewing behind the scenes at Marvel. Marvel's biggest stars are quietly but firmly turning against Disney CEO Bob Iger. You might think the drama in the MCU is intense, but what's unfolding in real life is even more explosive.
So that was it was a little disappointing. And I think if anybody at Marvel heard about that, they would be screaming and shouting. It's like, what the hell are you thinking? Why don't you just pay me? I didn't ask for any more money, mind you, right? It's just pay me what I made the first season.
It all started with Jeremy Renner's blunt rejection of Disney's offer for Hawkeye Season 2. Renner isn't alone. More MCU veterans are stepping up and speaking out. The message is clear. This isn't just about money. It's about respect, value, and the very future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It is so great to see you, and I don't want to get emotional, but gosh, I was so worried. I thought we lost you for a second.
And for a second we did, yeah. But I got some duct tape and I got all put back together. It's all good.
But we were supposed to come on the show in January.
I was kind of tied up.
The bomb dropped in May 2025 during Renner's interview on the High Performance app. What started as a casual conversation quickly went viral across TikTok, Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, and major outlets like IndieWire and People. In that interview, Renner revealed that Disney had offered him half his previous salary for Hawkeye Season 2. Considering he's an original Avenger, one of the franchise's core characters, fans were shocked. It felt like a slap in the face, not just to Renner, but to every longtime Marvel fan who had grown up with these characters.
I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, go fly a kite. I'm not going to go torture my body and risk permanent damage somewhere. For especially for half the money, it's gonna no. And more importantly, I said it's for my time. It's gonna require a lot of time for me, and we didn't see eye to eye on that.
And the situation wasn't just about money. There was something deeper, more personal, especially considering everything Renner had recently endured. In January 2023, he survived a horrifying snowplow accident that left him with more than 35 broken bones. The accident nearly ended his life and forced him into months of grueling rehabilitation. He documented the experience in his memoir, My Next Breath, and the entire world rallied around him during his recovery.
Why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over? Maybe that's why you want to pay me half of what I made on the first season?
So when Disney came to him with a slashed offer, demanding twice the workload over an 8-month shoot for half the pay, it felt beyond disrespectful. In the interview, Renner didn't mince words. That raw question wasn't just rhetorical, it was a dagger aimed at the heart of corporate Hollywood, a system that often treats its talent like disposable assets instead of real people.
And this is not Marvel, mind you. This is like this Disney, not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told him to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult offer.
Despite the drama, Renner made sure to separate Marvel Studios from Disney's corporate leadership. That told fans everything. The creative teams, the directors, writers, and producers who shaped the MCU weren't the villains here. The issue was the executive layer prioritizing profits over people. His final answer to Disney's offer? Go fly a kite. But in classic Renner fashion, he left a little crack in the door open. That kind of integrity resonated with fans. After years of giving his all to Marvel, Renner wanted to return, but not at the cost of his dignity. Renner's stand isn't an isolated case. He's just the loudest voice in a growing wave of discontent. John Malkovich, who was cast in Fantastic Four: First Steps, admitted he had rejected multiple Marvel offers over the years due to the shockingly low pay. "If you're going to hang from a crane in front of a green screen for 6 months, pay me," he told the press, pulling back the curtain on the physical and emotional toll these roles demand.
For sure, like I kind of go step by step and breath by breath in my life at this point. Whatever the future holds is, I'm sure, pretty exciting.
Yes,
but
of course.
Yeah, I just focus on like the next.
And let's not forget Hugo Weaving, who originated the role of Red Skull and was noticeably absent from future Marvel films. Fans later learned he declined to return due to payment disputes. The message? Marvel might be a dream gig for new actors, but the veterans are growing tired of being undervalued. Even Carrie, another rumored MCU returnee, reportedly turned down a comeback over similar frustrations. This emerging pattern points to a serious cultural shift. For years, Marvel relied on its brand to keep actors locked in even when the contracts were lean. But that goodwill is starting to fade. Stars who once helped build the franchise are now demanding to be treated like the icons they are. To understand the weight of these pay disputes, look at the numbers. Robert Downey Jr. reportedly earned around $75 million for Avengers Endgame. Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson each made about $20 million per film in the later phases. Renner's previous salaries ranged from $3 to $15 million, depending on the project. But Disney's new offer represented a massive backslide, especially after everything Renner had gone through.
A popular star, was paid $4.5 million, while Robert only received $500,000. However, as the Iron Man character became iconic, Robert's commercial value skyrocketed. His salary increased to $8 million, and he became the central figure of the production, which deeply unsettled Terrence, leading him to physically confront Robert on set.
Many fans saw the lowball offer not just as disrespectful, but as strategic. Disney may have assumed Renner would feel lucky just to be back at work. They misjudged badly. His recovery made him more resilient, not more desperate. And if anything, the public support only strengthened his position. Social media exploded in his defense. Hashtags like "Respect Renner" and "Hawkeye deserves better" trended within hours. Industry insiders suggest Disney might be gambling on Haley Steinfeld's growing star power to shift focus away from Renner. Since her debut as Kate Bishop in Hawkeye, Steinfeld has booked major roles and built a loyal fan base. The thinking may be that she can carry the franchise forward. And while Steinfeld absolutely has the talent and charisma to lead, fans aren't ready to lose Renner just yet. He brought a grounded humanity to the MCU, a normal guy with a bow in a world of gods and aliens. That emotional anchor is hard to replace. Disney has remained mostly silent on the controversy. When asked for comment, a spokesperson simply said they disagreed with Renner's account. No further details were provided. It's the kind of vague denial that only fuels speculation. If they had nothing to hide, why not be transparent? Despite everything, Renner may still appear in Avengers Doomsday, which is scheduled for release on May 1st, 2026. In an August 2024 interview, he expressed cautious optimism. "I think I'll probably be doing it. I'm really excited." That suggests the bridge hasn't completely burned yet. But the Hawkeye series? That's likely on ice for now. If Renner does walk away, the franchise will likely pivot to Kate Bishop as the new Hawkeye. That fits Marvel's broader strategy of transitioning to a younger generation of heroes. Sam Wilson is now Captain America. Yelena Belova is stepping into Black Widow's shoes. And Ironheart is set to follow in Iron Man's footsteps, even though its trailer flopped heavily. But even as the MCU evolves, there's no denying that losing legacy characters like Renner's Clint Barton would change the emotional DNA of the universe.
I'm calling Robert Downey because when I was doing the Brave one, Susan Downey was a producer, comes over to my trailer and she's like, "Congratulations on Iron Man. First time they've hired second lead before they've hired the first. Robert really wants to go in. They won't see him." And I was like, "I love Robert." I called Avi Arad immediately, producer on it. He's like, "No, we can't bond him." I'm like, "Instead of the $4.5 you want to give me, take $1 million for the bond for him and let him audition." He gets the part. Robert is like, "I love you. Thank you so much."
Renner's situation echoes a long history of tension between actors and the studio. One of the earliest blow-ups happened in 2008 with Terrence Howard, who played James Rhodey Rhodes in the first Iron Man. Howard was initially paid more than Downey, but after Iron Man's success, Marvel slashed his contract, reportedly to help increase Downey's pay. Howard walked, and Don Cheadle replaced him from Iron Man 2 onward. Then came Scarlett Johansson's 2021 lawsuit. When Black Widow was released on Disney Plus and in theaters simultaneously, she claimed it violated her contract and significantly hurt her box office bonuses. She sought $80 million in damages. The case was settled out of court, with estimates suggesting she received an additional $40 million or more. It was one of the first public clashes between a Marvel star and the studio over streaming-era compensation models.
And Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson is now suing Disney over the release of the hit Avengers spinoff on Disney+. She says releasing the film on the streaming service was a breach of her contract, allegedly saving Disney and Marvel from paying her what the company would have owed her from a sole box office release.
Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans also had their own contract renegotiation sagas post-Avengers. Both actors signed their original deals before Marvel exploded in popularity. By the time Avengers Endgame came around, they were reportedly underpaid given the massive profits. Marvel eventually tripled some salaries to keep them on board. Robert Downey Jr. played the game best. From the beginning, he negotiated back-end profit deals, meaning he earned a percentage of the box office gross. That smart strategy turned him into one of the highest-paid actors in history. But not everyone had the leverage or legal team to pull that off. Over and over, Marvel has struggled to balance its budget-friendly business model with the rising demands of its stars. The studio builds long-term roadmaps that span 5 to 10 years, locking in actors for multiple films and appearances. But the actors' lives, careers, and market values shift rapidly. What seems fair in Phase 1 doesn't cut it by Phase 5.
And sadly, and I still love the character, I still love to do it, but I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you, right? It just paid me what I made the first season. So it's a little disheartening that didn't happen, but that's fine. I'm happy to let that go because my body's probably thanking me, time and time again that I'm not doing it right now. But we'll see.
And now, with streaming, the math has changed even more. Studios want to pay less because they claim streaming offers long tail value. But actors want to be compensated for the buzz and the binge factor their names bring. It's a new frontier, and one that's already triggering major industry changes. The MCU is a massive machine. It depends on the trust and commitment of the actors who give life to these characters. If more stars start walking away or pushing back, Disney will have no choice but to listen or risk the collapse of its most valuable cinematic universe. Jeremy Renner's stand isn't just a personal moment. It's a warning shot. If the studio doesn't start respecting the veterans who helped build the franchise, they might find themselves with plenty of CGI, but no soul. The Marvel Civil War isn't just a movie title anymore. It's happening right now, and it could change everything.